This is Endless Monday. Dreams and deadlines. Welcome to Words of Ignorance, where I make short videos on short games for those who love gaming, but don't have a whole lot of time to do so. Today's game being Endless Monday, Dreams and Deadlines. Endless Monday, Dreams and Deadlines is a visual novel style game by the amazing and well-known artist Hcnone, who's been dabbling in these Endless Monday comics and magazines for a good while now. Now deciding to follow us up with this cute little game, based on just that. Endless Monday, Dreams and Deadlines takes place on a weekend in the life of Penny, an illustrator at a faceless corporation. 6 months ago, Penny was assigned to draw 6 illustrations for the sake of promoting the corporation's new Zenebot 6000. Instead of doing any of that, however, Penny's been prioritizing playing phone games and drawing a tiger chunk. Never doing this again. I'm pretty sure my mom heard that. Time flies by while you're having fun, and thus Penny now finds herself a weekend away from the deadline, having none of them done. So to save the project, and her position for that matter, she now has to spend the weekend alone at the office to clutch it up essentially. And desperately looking for inspiration to promote a lifeless, ugly robot, of which its purpose is unknown. Which is what you, the player, are tasked with. Sitting at her desk isn't bringing in any inspiration, so you'll be taking Penny around the office to find a eureka moment, or 6, in a visual novel styled fashion. You'll be taking a stroll through a decently sized variety of areas, like the break room, the meeting room, and the super secret hallway, with the super secret door, in which you can think, talk, or perform an action. Most, if not all of them, somehow being tied to one of the 6 illustrations. Additionally, you can pull up your phone, like all of us nowadays, to obtain some extra information by looking at your to-do list or by spam calling your friends, family, aliens, and co-workers who'd rather have you dead. How nice. Since Endless Monday is a visual novel, all of this is mostly done by the virtue of the textbox, and there's only so much you can do and show when doing that. Meaning the emergence of a hyper-focus on its story and the audio-visual presentation. Yeah, this game, it's pretty cool. I just heavily fuck with the artistic vision when it comes to the way this thing looks, feels and sounds. I mean, who would have thought a game by a well-respected artist would have a spotless presentation? Am I right? Shocker. I know. Hcnone's experience and prowess in the field of illustration transforms this game into so much more than a static standard anime art pre-rendered slideshow background, a visual novel. From every pixel being hand-drawn to the clean as hell line work making for clean as hell yet detailed backdrops, but also managing to create a sense of depth and presence in the various areas, rather than standing in front of a green screen. To the sheer contrast between the light purple, white and black depressing lifeless corporation color palettes and the vibrant as fuck orange, green, blue, pink and purple characters. Characters that have multiple portraits, facial expressions, and even a handful of frame-by-frame drawn animations to inject a little extra life into all of them. The work of someone that knows what they're doing. The addition of the little zoom-in squares, the face bubbles during phone calls, and the choice to even go with a hand-drawn dialogue font for the 7 billion text boxes is about as admirable as it elevates this game. Even like the little phone UI design with its to-do list and settings and shit, alongside Penny's addict looking ass holding it, is like, damn, this is really cool. Even if this is primarily a visual novel, the game isn't without movement. There's a section where you're shooting down an alien mothership invading Earth, a 2D sprites blocky font SNES-like fever dream where you join forces with your imaginary obsession, Tiger-chan, and talk to paperclips, germs, dancing sunflowers and traffic cones. And case in point, Lumberlads.
Let's chop!
It's a simple minigame where you hold right and chop down trees with X to collect a bunch of logs, aided by the occasional speed and power boosts and chopping down the wooden cabin of your friend and former colleague Sky to double your score. In the fashion of a true phone game, it's simple, stupid, yet very addictive, without any sort of an end goal other than the Steam achievements attached to them. I just couldn't muster the patience to collect 10 million, man. I just couldn't. I started to feel like a fucking zombie after about 1 million. Granted that it doesn't go any further than some anime moans and groans. Shit's got the only real voice acting in the game though. The only thing this excellent game is missing, in my humble opinion. Having these from the visual novel style deviating sections to pull you out of the visual novel rut, all hand-drawn and hand-animated by a singular pair of hands of course, is such a refreshing touch in between the text-heavy gameplay. Not that the game needed that in the slightest, because not only is Hcnone a great illustrator, they definitely proved themselves to be a decent-ass writer here. Endless Monday's premise to find inspiration to draw 6 illustrations before the weekend is over might be rather simple, but manages to stay interesting through its sheer charm and consistently funny and witty dialogue. Despite its mundane setting of a quiet, lifeless and soul-draining corporate headquarters, the story is written in the style of a surreal comedy, in which aliens will abduct you for your knowledge of burger places, a week-old coffee will drug trip you into a magical 2D dream world, and your imaginary furry obsession will crawl into the office to just keep you company. All of it and more are brought to you via witty and humorous dialogue, the characters establishing themselves as prominent and memorable entities. It's nothing but a great time walking around the office alongside Tiger-chan, who's acting like a fucking toddler because some koala Goomba stomped her with a coconut. It's hella satisfying to piss off Penny's already pissed off co-worker Hannah even more. It's hilarious to see Penny's desk plant be reincarnated into the muscular Succules, finally being able to voice his opinion on Penny's constant complaining. But underneath the memes, jokes and other zany shit is a story about procrastination, work at a corporation without a heart, soul or any identity whatsoever, and superior machinery replacing human capital. The game succeeds at telling the player about the horror of his life through its weak old stale coffee, a tasteless meeting room, and bland as fuck computer garden, as well as its impact on the characters in the form of coping mechanisms, depression, or sheer anger. It's a story with an, to me at least, important message, told in a light-hearted fashion. A relatable one at that, as I'd like to believe millions of office workers across the globe can to an extent identify with Endless Monday's depiction of the faceless corporation and experience similar feelings due to it. Maybe the whole fury of your dreams, alien attack, a boss carries a knife around thing isn't relatable as much, but you know. While I can't relate to being an office worker, we live in a time where machinery, and more recently AI, are becoming substitutes for human art, voices, and even physical appearances. And this one sentence sums up exactly why it upsets me so much. Sure, it's more efficient and takes a left mouse click to get shit done, but not only does it make people lazier, dumber, and less inventive, but most importantly, the human aspect is lost, which to me is absolutely invaluable. And I can only give props to Hcnone for writing this script the way they did. They came up with a script that mixes bizarre and funny elements with an important message to make for an unorthodox yet coherent storyline that doesn't come close to running out of steam. I think giving the player a sense of freedom to explore the office and, albeit locked to 3 set advertisements per day, experience the story in their preferred order, as well as yoinking in different gameplay elements to break the text meshing, only adds to that. And yeah, the presentation was obviously gonna be fire. The hand-drawn backdrops, characters, animations and text font, alongside its perfectly fitting color palette and little speech bubbles type details, make this game unique and memorable. But above all, give it this personal and warm touch that makes me value this game so much more than I would have otherwise. Also really digging the art gallery, where friends aka fans of the Endless Monday get their moment in the spotlights by having their incredible fan art on display. You just love to see appreciation like that. Hcnone found a perfect composer in Chance Trash to complement their art style and create a cozy aesthetic for a cozy game. A cozy game that has multiple endings based on how many illustrations Penny gets done, and other conditions as well, of course. I mean, it's a visual novel after all. And they're worth getting, in my opinion. I happily went out of my way to get all of them, as well as every single achievement aside from the lumberless ones, and got all of that done in 5.5 hours. So if you're not feeling it as much, It'll only take you about 1 to 3 hours to beat the entire thing, depending on how many illustrations you get done. But that's something I can't imagine though, as this game really is the poop.